Hello and welcome back to another video, and today we are here on MotoGP 20 once again for another challenge with the 2021 mod. Now, since obviously yesterday it was the Qatar Grand Prix, I thought we'd do a last to first challenge here as the race winner from that race, Maverick Vinales. So we've got to start from the back of the grid and see how far we can get through. I know I can do this in around a 50% race without too much trouble because I did it in career mode, but this time we're doing a 25% race just to make it a little bit more difficult, a bit more spicy, so we've got to fight our way through the pack a little bit quicker than that because I could take my time fairly easily. However, we are probably on a better bike as well. At least for me, I prefer the Yamaha to the Ducati in this game. But we'll go for the soft front, medium rear. That's pretty much the perfect combination around this circuit. You do get a little bit of tyre wear on the rear, of course, but it's not a massive amount. I don't think it's worth using the hard tyre. So let's get this race started. Hopefully we can try and replicate what Vinales did and get the win.
The Qatar Motorcycle Grand Prix will start shortly here in Doha, and the riders are ready to compete on an amazing illuminated racetrack.
So we've actually got Marc Marquez on pole, which is not great. Hopefully he won't pull away. Hopefully Morbidelli and Rins can try and get ahead of him. We've got 6 laps of fuel. We're waiting for the lights to go out here. Then at Qatar, lights out and away we go. You can see Bagnaia is pretty far down the order compared to where he was in real life. So I will actually be doing a skills patch for the next update, sort of make it a bit more realistic, make the riders follow a bit more of a similar performance. Obviously we'll be improving riders such as Bagnaia and Aleix Espargaro, sorry, obviously Jorge Martin probably a little bit as well, same with Jack Miller, which you can see they are struggling at the back here. But as I was saying that, I've picked off 2 positions, we're up into 20th, a little bit on the green there, so I'll lift off the throttle to make sure I don't get the run on Martin, because of course I don't want to gain anything from it. Savadori's up the inside, so we're now back down to last place. Actually, I've gone on the green again, so that's one more time we're allowed. Marquez is down. Alex Marquez has hit the deck in the middle of the pack. Somehow he didn't take anybody else with him, which is really, really strange. But we've had an absolutely atrocious first lap so far, so we need to try and pick off some positions. So we're now up to 17th. That was a pretty good corner out of turn 6. Up into 15th. We need to really be in the top 10 by the end of this first lap if we're going to do anything too great. So there we go, up in... Oh, no, I thought we got past Bastianini. We hadn't quite done it yet. So Bastianini back ahead of us once again. And of course, there is a few little livery changes as well for the first race of the season. I don't know whether I'm going to actually get a chance to do all of those. Traction control 2 might be a little bit too low because I almost had a bit of a high side coming out of there. So we're still behind Enea Bastianini for now, but we'll have a look around the outside to the first of the triple rights. We should be able to get him up the inside though through this one. Yep, there we go, up to 14th place. Up next is Lecuona, so Lecuona just in front of us there. And then it's Zarco and Miller side by side. Again, both of those guys do need to be improved for the next update to be a bit more realistic. Of course, the Ducati was just very good at the circuit, but even still, that needs to kind of be emulated by the mod. So around the outside of Lecuona, down towards the final turn. Is Lecuona going to still have it? No, we're going to have it around the outside of him, surely. So up into 13th, so it's not been the ideal start, it must be said. But if we get a bit of a draft off of Zarco here, we might be able to pass him. Hopefully we can maybe outbrake Miller down into turn 1 as well. No, we're way too far behind. We're not going to do that. We're only just going to pass Zarco. Then it's Nakagami ahead of Miller. But we might want to get Miller on the exit of this first corner on the power. Here we go. Not quite. We're not going to pass him into turn 2 either. I thought about it, but just not close enough. If I can get on the power early enough, though, we might be able to get in. The front tyre is very, very cold right now. We need to try and get a bit more heat through it. But here we go up the inside through turn 3 of Jack Miller. A little bit of contact there because I kind of moved over on him because I was just trying to get in the proper racing line for the corner. I don't want to lose too much time. But we're looking at the inside of Nakagami now. That would have been risky. Almost cut the corner on the inside as well. Just trying to turn it a bit too early. We should get him into 6 though. Up the inside. AI really poor into 6. So we've got past him. Can we get past Fabio on the exit as well? Yes, we can. Past Quartararo. We're going to get past Binder as well around the outside. So we're now into 8th position. This is on 120%, which is the hardest AI, by the way, just in case you are new to the channel, because of course I'm carving my way through without too much problems, but that is just how bad they are in this game. So we've got Pol Espargaro ahead of us, then Valentino Rossi, obviously with the more yellow on the rear, like the pre-season version, so I need to obviously change to that as well, probably for the next update. We've got Pol right ahead of us. Can we try and do what we did to... It was a Ducati, I think it was Bastianini, wasn't it, through this section on the last lap, and yes, we have. So we're already for the 7th place. We are making good progress, but we've only got 6 laps, of course, and the leaders are getting away a little bit, because you can see there's Joao Mir, and then there's a bit of a gap ahead of Mir to the leaders. And I think Marquez is checking out from those guys even, so we are going to have to put some fastest laps of the race in. We're going to have to probably save some fuel as well, because we've only got 4.5 laps of fuel to go. And actually, we've got about 4 laps left, so actually we should be alright for now. But Rossi's made a bit of a mistake at the last corner. There we go, flying past Valentino. We might get the slipstream on Joao Mir here because he's veering side to side for whatever reason. Marquez 53.0, I do a 52.8, so a little bit quicker than Mark. Up the inside into the first corner of Joao Mir, but Mir's just completely hit us at the back actually. What he was doing there, I have no idea what he was even attempting to do, because I didn't move over on him or anything. I was completely in front. I'd just gone into the corner and he's just hit me at the back, so a little bit odd. But we're into the top 5 now, so the rider ahead, I think it's Morbidelli, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It is Morbidelli, and then it looks like it's Oliveira, then it's Rins, and then it's Marc Marquez. Oliveira also needs to be a little bit nerfed, I think, in the next update. As we brake for turn 6, obviously the twisty section where the Yamaha was making the ground in real life on the Ducatis is kind of where you make up the time on the AI, to be honest. They're just not so good through there. Although on the straights they're not great either. I don't know what, it seems like they almost don't go full throttle, or like Mir was doing, they were just veering side to side for whatever reason. So strange. Here's to hoping that the AI are a big step up in MotoGP 21. Not long till that game comes out, of course. Now less than a month, which is really exciting. I'm looking forward to playing that one. And judging by the previews that I've seen, obviously some people got the preview version of the game and been doing videos on it. The AI do seem to be struggling a little bit, but apparently they are going to improve that. So hopefully by the time the game comes out, the AI are a big step up from MotoGP 20. They really need to be. Although, of course, if the physics is overhauled, then actually might make it so you can't exploit them as much. So perhaps the AI don't need to improve quite as much if the player is just slowed down by the new physics. But into the last corner then, we've not really... Well, we have made decent inroads on Morbidelli here, but we're not going to pass him on... Well, we might be able to pass him on this next lap, but we're not passing him on this one, that's for sure. And they are all in just a bit of a group in front, so 52.3 there, another half a second quicker than the previous lap. So we are doing some faster stats, but Marquez is out front, and we are on lap 4 of 6, so only 3 laps to go. It is going to be pretty tight. I knew that doing a 25% would make this fairly difficult, just because of the volume of riders, and my first lap, to be honest, wasn't great. I could have got past quite a few more people. I probably lost about a lap's worth of progress by the first half of the lap just not being so good. So that's the easiest place to gain or lose time, is the first lap. Against the AI, that's for sure. We should be able to pass Morbidelli down towards turn 6, hopefully, on the power. Here we go, it's going to be an easy move up the inside into turn 6. Yes, it is. Easy as you like. So we're now up into 4th place. Up next is Oliveira, then it's Rins, and then it is Marc Marquez. If we can pass Oliveira and Rins on this lap, we should be able to catch Marquez with not too much problem. Oh, we're on the grass almost a little bit there on the inside. I was looking at my tyre wear and almost completely went off the track. That was a really silly thing to do. Good job, the physics are a little bit forgiving in that aspect, that's for sure. So out of turn 10 then, trying to get on the power as early as I can. Close up to Oliveira. We might be able to do the move that we did to Espagro and to Bastianini earlier on in the race. To Oliveira. Actually, no, because I've gotten a little bit too hot through that first part and not been able to capitalise, because he went a little bit more defensive, so I couldn't quite run the flowing line I wanted through there. So we are going to have to sit in behind Oliveira for now. But hopefully we can maybe try and pass him into the last corner, or through this penultimate one even. Up the inside, side by side with Oliveira, down towards the final corner. We've got a bit of slipstream off Rins in front. Into the last corner though, I've gone way too hot in there. That might allow Oliveira through. It's kind of like what we did to Lecuona on the first lap, actually. So we are now up into 3rd place. We might be able to pass Rins, because again, he's kind of veering side to side a little bit like Mir was. So it seems to be maybe a Suzuki thing. Another fast lap of the race, another 52.3. I've got 2 laps of fuel left exactly as I started that lap, so we are very marginal. So I'm going to have to go into a little bit of power mode 0. Just swap it now, down to power mode 0. It's always going to be marginal if you use the exact amount of fuel. You are going to have to do a little bit of fuel saving, because I don't think I'm the most fuel efficient rider. I do rev the gears out a little bit. But what is the gap to Marc Marquez that we've got to close up then? 1.9 seconds. So hopefully we can pull that one off, but the rear tyre is starting to struggle a little bit now. It is still got about half the wear left, so the wear is good, but the heat is getting a little bit hot, so it will start to spin a little bit more. We go into turn 6, another section we can gain a lot of time. About 1.5 laps to go. That's probably about 1.5 seconds, I would have thought, the gap as well. So we're going to have to take quite a bit of time out of him. It's going to be a very last-minute pass. Yeah, 1.5 seconds exactly, so that was a good estimation from myself there. I've got quite good at estimating the gaps over the years. So into turn 10. I've gone a little bit wide though. Oh, I'm actually bottling this a little bit now. As it comes down to crunch time. Really making a few mistakes I don't need to make. Like obviously on the last lap here, I made a bit of a mistake. This time I went a little bit hot, but probably not quite as bad for Marquez. Did he go on the green there in front? I'm not too sure. Obviously, the AI do occasionally go on the green. 1.3, so we are still gaining on him. And we actually did that section fairly nicely. We got about a second back to Alex Rins. So we haven't got to worry about Alex Rins making any attack on us. Not that I was anyway, but for sure we know that's no problem now. As we go down towards the final turn. This time I didn't run in wide. I went in too tight though. Oh, again, I was looking at tyres. Again, I need to stop looking at the tyres when I'm turning in. Maybe just look on the straights would be a little bit better. So as we come up towards the line, what's this lap time going to be? 52.4, so not quite as fast. We've got a second, so we took a second around about out of him on that lap into the first corner. I've got him a little bit too hot, but I have managed to actually get it stopped. So we might have gained a bit of time on Marc Marquez there compared to what I thought I was going to do. Back up into power mode 1 now, because I think we've saved probably enough fuel on that previous lap, but I have got to watch out. I have been burnt by that before on this game. So through turn 3 then. Oh, just try not to go on the green on the exit, because I just want to do this as fairly as I can. Obviously, the game doesn't penalise you too much. We're only half a second behind Marc Marquez now. I don't think we're quite within range of a turn 6 attack, but we should be able to get a good drive out of turn 6. Maybe we can have an attack down into 7, because the AI do seem to slow down once you catch up to them. We're right on the back of Marquez now, getting on the power as early as I can. And yes, oh, a bit of a wheelie though, and I think that might have affected our run down towards turn 7. We're up the inside though anyway. Up the inside of Marc Marquez. We've gone in really hot wide, and so has he actually though. He's followed us in, a little bit like Jarmir did at turn 1 a few laps ago, where he completely followed my line and then just hit me at the back, but luckily Marquez didn't hit me. So we've got the lead of the race now. We've finally hit the front on the final lap. We've got 2 laps of fuel to go, but this is a section where it is actually this is probably a section where compared to the leaders it's kind of hard to take time out of them. You saw on the last lap I only took a couple of tenths out of him, so if I don't do it quite right, he actually could still be on me down towards the last corner, and that's not what you want, because I've made mistakes there already in this race. We've got half a second to mark then now. That should be enough to bring it on home. We are running out of fuel rapidly. We've got 1.2 laps of fuel left, because it is just trying to catch up with the fuel mode I'm in. But we should be okay. As we go down towards the last corner, I can always stick it into 0 on the runs to the line if we are running low. But we've got 0.9 of a lap left, and we're going through the last corner, so we should be fine. So sliding out the last corner then, we've got this one in the bag. We've managed to do it in 6 laps, the last of first challenge. Only just managing it there. Didn't make it too easy for myself. But another challenge completed here at Qatar. I must have done a new fastest lap on the last lap then, because I did a 52.1 apparently, and I can't remember doing that before. So I must have literally just done that on the final lap of the race. Apparently one of the AI has the fastest lap. I want to see who it is. Lorenzo Savadori apparently did a 52.1. I find that hard to believe. Alex Marquez retired from the race, obviously after his crash on the first lap. But that was a pretty fun race. We'll quickly go have a look at the replay to see what happened to Alex Marquez, because I saw that he crashed. I don't know whether he was assisted or if he just fell off on his own. So here we are on board with Alex Marquez going into turn 4. You've got Miller on the outside, same with Marini as well. He's going up the inside now of the 2 Tech 3 KTMs. And a little touch there from Danilo Petrucci was just enough to unsettle the LCR Honda, and down he goes. That's why he crashed then. Just minor contact with Petrucci, but at the lean angle he was at, because that's why he was down, and also Petrucci was probably on the throttle at that point of the corner. Just one of those things, pretty unfortunate. Happens with the AI a lot, actually. They tend to ram each other quite a bit, so hopefully that's something else that can be improved for MotoGP 21, because I want to see AI mistakes. I just don't want to see the AI ramming each other at the back. It's really odd. They do it quite a bit. Something else I actually want to quickly have a look at is the incident between myself and Mir. I just want to see why he actually hit me up the back. So here we are on board with Mir. He's doing the weird side-to-side thing on the brakes. I'm up the inside of him, getting it stopped. And oh, he just kind of swooped in. He wanted to kind of cut underneath me, I think, if we actually slow it down. So I was going to the apex. I was running a little bit wide. I suppose I actually was kind of slowed in the middle of the corner compared to what he wanted to do. He wanted to take a more wide, sweeping line through. So yeah, that actually makes a bit more sense. I kind of blocked him a bit, but to be honest, at the time I thought I was further ahead of him than I actually was. And that'd be why, but that's how we got the move done on Jarmir. Probably quite a crucial pass there, because if we got slowed down in this first sector, we only beat Marquez by a second. So if we'd lost a second on one of the laps, or, you know, overall just lost a few tenths in a couple of places, it would have been quite difficult to actually beat him. But after looking at all those incidents then, I think that pretty much brings us to the end of the video. So I hope you guys did enjoy that one. I just want to apologise quickly for not uploading for quite a while. It's been over a week. I've just been quite busy, just not really had the time or really had the feeling to go and do a video. But I am back now. I'm going to try and be a little bit more consistent once again. I know I say that quite a bit, but on the run up to MotoGP 21, I want to be quite consistent so I can just hit the ground running with that game and just bring out some consistent videos for you without it being a big shock to the system for me having to try and be a bit more consistent. If I'd built it up for a month before, it probably will be a little bit better. But I hope you guys did enjoy that one. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.